Last question for NBC.
Nice way to end this surreal couple of days, huh?
Yeah, for sure. A little weird.
Talk about the experience a little bit. Obviously, it was a strange start this morning with the court bubbling up, etc.
Yeah, I mean, today you couldn't do much. I looked down at one point and I saw kind of like a little crack, and it had probably 7 or 8 nickel-sized water drops on it, but it looked almost too perfectly placed. It almost looked like someone just like poured a little bit of water out. So I dried it off, played the next game, went back to play a point and saw that it was there again, and that's when I realized that we had a problem.
And I thought I heard you use the word baffled out on the court. Listening on the monitor in here, and
I was surprised the second time we got called out. We walked back there and it was wet, so I couldn't quite figure out why we were called out. I was in, I even said, it's an under, it's coming from under. It's not something that you can dab a towel on and make it go away. And I watched the monitors, and we were dabbing towels on it the entire time. And then it called us back out, and we walked right over, and it was wet. I could not believe what I was looking at. Puts us in a little bit of an uncomfortable position too, because obviously, we want to play and stuff, but it's still there, dude.
Was Brian advocating that you continue play on that court?
No, we went there and I said, what is that? And he said, water. And I was at a little bit. I said, was that there 5 seconds ago when you called us out? I didn't know, but at that point he didn't say play by any means. He didn't. At that point, I think he was just trying to scramble and find us some sort of court.
What did you think of playing on court 13?
I played there in 1999. I lost to Scott Lipsky in juniors first round. And the year before that, I lost to Fernando Gonzalez out there first round in juniors.
Those memories aside, having been out there today and won there today, Ferrer kind of laughed at me when I asked this before, but I'm going to ask you. Was there anything charming or cool about that experience? And conversely, what was annoying about it? Whether it's the lack of Hawkeye or what was good, what was bad?
I enjoyed it. I like playing kind of the smaller, more intimate stuff when I can. I haven't always gotten that opportunity here. I know Armstrong and Grandstand. There's so many great courts here that I just haven't been a part of at all. I didn't think court 13 was in my future, but I probably could have promised you if it ever came to that I was just going to call it quits, but extenuating circumstances, I guess. I enjoyed myself out there, though.
And there were photographers, close to the court. There's a guy on the fence. There was a baby crying. It was bizarre.
Well, at least there wasn't a baby crying on the fence.
As far as we know. But was it just a combination, or was there anything that really stood out to you?
Yeah, there was a little bit of everything. We had some Van Morrison wannabe playing music in the courtyard. So we had a Brown Eyed Girl soundtrack for about 2 games there. There was a guy scaling the fence in the back for a second. He was about to serve, and I saw a guy climbing up the fence. A couple of people wanted to do commentary from the service line, and I didn't think that was going to work. There was there was a repetitive screaming from the courtyard at one point. It was actually kind of shrill, and it was a little stressful. It sounded like someone was getting hurt. So I don't know if that's what it's always like out there.
Andy, the playing surface itself, like a basketball court, is that the difference at all, or is it just the surroundings?
I thought the service played a little bit lower, maybe just because it's been played on more doubles, so the service boxes maybe reacted a little bit differently. It's pretty similar, but to be fair, we haven't played on any real stadium court in 3 days anyways. We've been hitting indoors, so that's kind of what we're dialed into.
And in the 24 hours starting when you guys had to go out for a few minutes yesterday morning, and people seemed very unhappy about that until the end of this strange 24-hour period as you've been in tennis.
Probably, but I think I'm used to it. I've played 5 Slam finals, and I've had to play on the Saturday 4 times. So the '09 Wimbledon final was actually the first time I ever got a day off in between. You know, I've always kind of responded well to playing like that. I don't know. For some reason, I was kind of mellow during the whole thing, which is completely against my makeup.
Isn't that the mark of, I mean, a champion athlete is accepting what's there and not worrying about the little things and just playing the game?
Well, that's what I hear.
Having said that, Rafa was quite peeved when he came in here and said that the players need to have more of a say in what's going on. What would you? Even Sam Stosur said that. What would you say? She said without them, there's no tournament.
Well, that's fine, but until we unite, it doesn't matter, and people can call our bluff. If someone wants to get what they want, and I've been trying to tell people that talent normally wins negotiations. If Bono doesn't want to go on tour, then it all falls apart. But until we unite as one voice, then we're not going to get what we want. So therefore, we don't have the right to complain about it.
Do you feel you get a large enough portion of, say, the revenues that?
What are we at? 13%?
About that.
13% of total revenue. I'll let you write your story.
Andy, was this tournament for you any kind of tipping point when you were thinking about this, or?
No, I've been trying it for a while, but at a certain point, you have to be willing to give up something to get something, which is a tougher deal. And when you have to get 25 or 30 people on the same page, their main concern is you're getting one guy who's worried about the doubles cut in Stuttgart as his main thing, and then the next guy is worried about, it's just tough to come together. I think you have to have, the right person involved who might understand the business side of it, might actually understand numbers, the way something works, and you're going to have a player of some sort who's willing to make some sort of sacrifice a little bit. So I think it's a very obvious problem. I think it's pretty simple. Everything that goes on around this disappears without there's no home team, so it basically is a star-driven sport. It always has been. You have to get the stars on the same page, and then I think you can pretty much get whatever you want.
So you would, at your age, convince a 24-year-old to maybe give up a year of his career?
I don't think it would take a 24-year-old giving up. I don't think you have to give up a year of your career. At this point in my career, I would jump with a chance to leave the sport in a better position for the players moving forward.
And maybe put some of these issues aside for a sec. You come into the Open, you hadn't had that much play. This might have been your biggest win of the year, and now you get a chance to play Rafa on a big court. Just talk about your game and maybe how excited you are to have that chance.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that I was playing a little bit better in Winston-Salem. I knew it was huge to get 4 matches there. I didn't play at all from Wimbledon till 10 days before this event. So it was definitely short on matches, and it's tough to get confidence by winning matches when you're not playing any. So I just needed to get some continuity and play a little bit, and this is probably the best match I've played this year.
And your thoughts about facing Rafa now?
Well, it's tough. I'm gonna have to play pretty aggressively. I think similar to what I did today. He's one of the greatest ever, so I'm gonna have to have a repeat at least.
Tough slam season.
About, hoping it rains tonight, because then at least Roger will be in the same boat as the rest of you guys. Can you talk about the inequity and the half of the draw?
It just happens. It's a tough scenario where our half is obviously up against it, but weather's weather. You can't control it. Were they going to delay Roger's match from 4 days ago because there's weather coming? It's tough, but what are you going to do?
Andy, some tough slams.